What is up YouTube, and welcome to this hybrid video. No, not Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park, but a hybrid video, which I have actually liked doing these kind of two-topic videos because it allows me to talk about a lot more than just my standard fare on this channel. So yes, it may seem a bit weird that I'm going to be talking about the Andrew Kreisberg scandal and also Star Trek Discovery, but these are two things which I've wanted to talk about. I did kind of briefly talk about Andrew Kreisberg in my video yesterday, but I think that my message wasn't conveyed that well. I didn't like the way I came across in that video whatsoever when I discussed this, and I feel that it is really, really important here to actually discuss the Andrew Kreisberg situation. So if you don't actually know, Andrew Kreisberg is one of the executive producers within the Arrowverse. And, well, he has been caught up in this latest scandal. There has been, ever since Harvey Weinstein, women and also men now as well have actually been speaking up against sexual harassment, sexual assault, sexual misconduct, and really anything to do with kind of inappropriate behaviour, which Andrew Kreisberg has actually just come under fire for. He is the latest in a line which have obviously included Harvey Weinstein. Even Ben Affleck was involved in the early days of this huge movement. And as well as this, we've had the comedian Louis C.K. who has been involved in this as well. But Andrew Kreisberg hits close to home here on this channel because really what built this channel is the Arrowverse, when I talked about kind of the DC TV shows, and I talk about them each week. And funny enough, I actually have had or read quotes from Andrew Kreisberg on this channel, and I feel that I would not be doing kind of the content or really myself, not myself, but I wouldn't feel right unless I actually addressed this situation on my channel, because really I use a lot of the content that he's created to build this channel and discuss everything about the shows I really, really love. And so, if you don't know, like I said, Andrew Kreisberg is one of the biggest producers. I mean, I think he works primarily like on The Flash and I believe Supergirl, this kind of thing. And, well, he has been accused of inappropriate behaviour and some minor assault with people he's worked with. That's 19 accusations. I'm not clear if that's 19 people or 19 incidents. No, is it at least 15 people have come forward to really lambast him and really kind of tell their story with everything that has happened here over in the production. So this is historical, this is recent as well. And I believe that Melissa Benoist, I can never pronounce her name, I'm very sorry, but she was the one who alerted people, or alerted, I believe, the CW and the product, like HR, to what has happened and what was happening with his behaviour. And I have to say, she is very, very brave for bringing this up, considering the fact that she is the star of one of these shows, and in the past, being the star of one of these shows, or kind of speaking up against this behaviour, really would have ruined her career. But here, I think that the show Supergirl, especially Supergirl, but the rest of the Arrowverse, all talk about diverse things such as LGBTQ plus kind of issues. It talks about feminism, it talks about sexism. I mean, feminism was done on the recent episode of The Flash, and may I add, not very well. I really thought that they could have been a lot more nuanced in their way of explaining or kind of mentioning sexism and things like that, and feminism. But then again, I'm a guy, and I guess I'm technically mansplaining, so I'm going to stop. But Andrew Kreisberg has now been suspended in his role, and I think that's it. I think he's pretty much done here on the Arrowverse, and he is someone who has pretty much helped build the kind of Belantiverse here, and helped sculpt it, and awkwardly, he actually wrote the story for Crisis on Earth X. So I believe he didn't write the script, but he actually worked on the story. So I can't see them really kind of making a big statement about it just yet. Although I think their silence may actually be deafening. And funnily enough, Mark Guggenheim actually mentioned this, and he said on Twitter that he's not going to talk about anything, not going to talk about an internal HR investigation. And now, funny enough, we have actually had Andrew Kreisberg mention that he didn't actually do anything wrong. It was none of this inappropriate kind of activity was sexual. He believes that, well, it wasn't at all. So it is kind of he said, she said at the moment, I believe. And really, when 15 people are all actually accusing you of something, I think there's more truth in that on their side than there is on your side. But that's just my opinion on that. And what's funny enough, we've had Melissa make a statement over on Twitter about this. We have also as well had Emily Bet Rickards, who actually low-key savaged Mark Guggenheim, and Mark Guggenheim actually quoted a tweet from Conan O'Brien, I think it was, who actually, he said that reverse sexism is never the answer, which, no, it's not. I'm sorry, I think all sexism is bad. If it's towards a guy, a girl, transgender, or anything like that, that is bad. And I don't think that is ever the answer by shouting, all white men are evil, all men are evil. No, that's completely ruining your message. I'm very sorry, I disagree with that. But she actually made a statement, Emily Bet Rickards, who she said that, well, reverse sexism and things like that. She mentioned that and low-key savaging Mark Guggenheim there, to be honest. So, look, and she is on Arrow, and Mark Guggenheim, well, Arrow is his show, and Felicity is his girl. So maybe it's coming up to the end of her time, perhaps, maybe. Yes, Charlie Lee also mentioned this as well, and I think that we're going to be getting a brand new kind of showrunner here for the Arrowverse, and I'm excited to see where this will actually go. It'll be interesting to see what they do with this, who they actually hire. And it could maybe actually breathe more life into the show and have a new set of kind of eyes on the show. And a lot of these are really, really deep into, they're like 3 or 4 seasons in. In the case of Arrow, it's on 6 seasons in. So maybe a change anyway was really, really needed, to be honest. But let's talk Star Trek Discovery. Now, the mid-season finale has just aired. And for all you people who have or want to watch it in America, but you didn't want to pay for a subscription service on CBS All Access, I don't blame you. I wouldn't have paid for CBS All Access if I didn't have it here on the UK. It was on Netflix, so I would not have paid that. But now you can go in, I believe there's a free trial. I think I've seen that on Twitter. So you can go out and binge watch that for 1 month. And then the show is back on January the 7th, on the 9th. I think it's one of those two. And it's actually back, and then wait another couple of weeks, and then you can watch the second half of the show. Now, the first half of the show was amazing. It really, really is a solid show. I absolutely loved every minute of this show. Every episode was good, in my opinion. I absolutely loved every episode. Minor one was when they were trapped on the kind of weird, sort of sentient planet tree thing. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. That was terrible. But the rest of it has been really, really good. And now, seemingly, the war with the main Klingons is over. So the first half of this was a war episode, or a war season, and, well, they've defeated their kind of main enemy here, in air quotes, but the rest of the Klingons are out for blood. But also, we actually got, at the end of this, a hint towards the Mirror Universe. Now, the Mirror Universe is from the original kind of the James T. Kirk season, Star Trek the original series, and this is a place where the good guys are bad and that kind of thing. Everything's flipped on its head. Now, obviously, we had Anthony Rapp's character. He did this one last jump, he came out, and then he could just see everything. He has seen the whole universe. He's seen kind of countless configurations. And I can't help but think maybe he has led them to the Mirror Universe. So here, this second half of the season will actually deal with the Mirror Universe, which I think would be really, really interesting to see where this goes. But personally, I wouldn't like the whole second half of the season to be set inside the Mirror Universe. That wouldn't be something that I personally actually want to see. So let me know what you think in the comments. Do you want to see a Mirror Universe? I don't. Also, the last burning question here is the fact that we have Ash's character, who has seemingly been changed or turned by the Klingons. And I really do like the fan theory here that he is actually a Klingon. I like the fact that he was actually kind of turned into a human to infiltrate Starfleet, which I think would be really... Now that is an interesting idea. I like it better than him actually being brainwashed. And when he was like, what have you done to me? I think maybe some Klingon ritual has kind of turned him into a human. So I think that that would be really, really cool as well. I think that'd be an interesting theory, and that's why he has these flashbacks, and these nightmares are actually where he's seeing himself as a human in these, but he's actually, you know, he's seeing his old memories when he was a Klingon, but his mind is seeing him in them as a human in his nightmares. So yeah, let me know what you think on the comments on that as well. Do you think that is possibly an idea? Also, please slap a like on it if you want me to do Star Trek Discovery videos when it comes back. I know a lot of you in my community tab didn't actually want it, but I had to talk about it. I just had to. I don't know anyone who watches the show at all, so I wanted to discuss it with you guys as well. So, let me know what you think in the comments. Please do drop a like. Please do subscribe. And I'll see you soon. Goodbye.